Check, check. All right. All right. Weekly game plan with DeadBeat. Me. All right. So we've been rejecting the Dow Jones monthly, weekly efficiency on the Dow. Um, Basically rejecting the CE of that. And we had come off of this didn't mark a structure shift, but on the weekly we did. And we didn't. Here we did though. So it makes sense to reject here. Maybe we're going to come down here and rebalance this weekly inefficiency. We'll see. I already know weekend Wall Street is down a whole percent on NASDAQ. And then the Dow Jones is about a whole percent too. Whoops, it's a daily. Yeah. So yeah. And then on top of that, we have like a relative equal high soup right into that monthly CE. Right above that high, you could have easily put an order there for the big short trade. Let's see how many ticks above it. I wanted to see. Wow, yeah, you could have risked 40 points. I mean, yeah. But, you know, smooth highs there. But anyways, go back to make sure. So yeah, nothing really on the weekly or the daily. We've just souped out these lows already. We've also souped those out on Dow Jones chart, stock ticker. This has all been rebalanced in here. And I'm pretty sure there's SMT on this low. So I'd actually think that this area would probably hold unless I'm missing something from the higher time frame. And you could say we've come back down to a discount already on the monthly. So we'll see what happens. This wick never got balanced, so maybe there's a something here. Kind of want to make it like a purple because it's absolutely. Yeah, this is basically a fair value gobble long there that had another short kind of set up into that. So makes sense that would come lower again. Um, Wonder if NASDAQ set a new low. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're gonna open up back down here. If Dow Jones creates SMT, there might actually be a long on Russell with the S&T right at the open. What else? I mean, really obvious smooth highs. Not much to go off of. I think this is like, if we're gonna keep coming lower, I would actually, yeah, look for this. Oh wait, I forgot. There's these equal lows here. So there is a level down here. Um, and I don't think there was a clear S&T there. There's some smaller relative equal lows here, but I think this one would probably still get a really big reaction. But yeah, I mean, it would make sense to come in here. This is another fair value y'all set up in here. Right there. So yeah. But that's basically it. I mean, that's why I got short again on Friday, but it just didn't play out. And then, of course, it's going to gap down over the weekend. So that's where those options plays come into play. This long made a lot of sense. I wish that I could really nuance that out before yeah, I could have taken that Friday. Or, I don't think I would have been able to. Anyways. Crap, I don't know what just happened. I can't remember if it was on or off. Oops. Must be on. So yeah, we got a monthly forming here. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that there. Took out this big candle, trailed stops there. And it's a weekly fair value gap. So yeah, it makes sense that that's rejecting. We have a nice wick. This never got rebalanced here either. Don't need that. Very similar relative equal lows soup, and then now we're coming back down again. This daily sort of got respected there. Anything on the daily? Not really. 4 hour. Yeah, soup the lows. Looks like we may have relative equal lows being formed with the new gap down probably. So more liquidity. And then yeah, we have this 4-hour here. That could be something. Alright. Relative equal highs there. Alright. Yeah, as for a draw on liquidity here, I mean, this may be a pretty big soup area down below this low. Just because it almost lines up with this one. On SPY, it does. So yeah, this is a pretty big soup level, and it's the old tariff high. And look at that. A lot of yeah, I mean this is a pretty big level down here, but we'll see. Yeah, not much else to say. I mean, we're just in a weird area. I just need to see where we open, basically. Alright, yeah, it's not pulling. Alright. So, SPY. Huh. So I think I actually should have this turned off. Whoops. I'll go through again later. Actually, better start now. Crap, everything's gonna be off. I'm gonna go back through this all. I don't know how this turned. I swear I turned it off. That's why I was confused. Dang, so we almost made a new all-time high then. And yeah, there's still a wedge there. And now we basically got relative equal highs as a possible massive soup. Wait, daily, is there anything? I mean, there's a big gap here. Okay, that makes sense now. Makes sense. That's the new week opening gap there. That changes new week opening gaps too. Alright. So really nice relative equal highs there on NASDAQ. And then obviously the all-time smooth highs. And then there's a nice gap here. There's a gap there, and then we've got relative equal lows here. Man, I wonder if that's been the issue lately. Why it's been hard to read the price. Because somehow it got changed. Got perfectly back test the new opening gap. Very, very nice relative equal highs in here. Sweet, that makes things a lot easier. Cool. I don't really need to label these. But whatever. Cool. Maybe I need to go into my settings actually. Alright. Yeah, well, they're way off. Alright, so there's the monthly there. The weekly was already filled. That clears things way up because now I can see that there was this liquidity here. And so of course we souped it. Goodness. Maybe that's been the issue. Holy cow. Goodness, dude. I don't know how that got turned back on, man. Yeah, so we're probably just going for these. There we go. we're going for these, and then we got a weekly wick CE there, or the daily, whatever. Works same thing, same way. Wow. Yep. Goodness. There's a little inefficiency there on the 1 hour. And this is a fair value gobble now. Technically we didn't touch it, so. I think this order block would probably hold, but with this big wick here, I'm just eyeballing it. I mean, we've come down here. Goodness. Yeah, I would think it would. I don't know. We'll see. But with this being so high, I would actually think it would come down into here. We'll see though. Oh, and that lines up with the Wixie either. So, all right, that makes so much more sense. Holy cow! Goodness. No wonder we came. Oh my goodness, dude. Ah, cool. Well, that makes it a lot easier. All right. That means ES is all off. Oh, fair value gap isn't even relevant. I mean, this kid's just trading into the order block, respecting it. This is the highest up close candle, and the candle bodies are closing below. Interesting. Okay, here's the gap. So all this is on daily. Alright, okay, there's the fair value gap. Daily fair value gap. Perfect. Goodness. No wonder, dude. No wonder I've been struggling with the TA. This is so much more clear. Oh. I mean, this is smooth highs. So, but, yeah, just gonna mark that out though. It's clear draw on liquidity there. We've got relative equal lows here. sense. There's that sliver of the 4-hour. That might be relevant. Probably not, but we'll see. It's already got traded into there. Yeah, nice. So yeah, that's where we're headed. We got these ones here too, so could be a little bounce there. Yeah. Wow, what a difference that made. Things are much more clear. Is that a 4-hour? Alright, now we can go to Russell. Man, I wonder what Russ is going to look like. This one has been. Dude, where's IW? What? That is crazy. I had it taking out these lows before. That is so annoying. Alright, weekly chart. Here we go. This is right. Huh, weird. That one was right. So maybe some of these are right. That's not right. So yeah, still got a weekly there. Don't know what that is. That's not even accurate. None of this is accurate. Relative equal highs. And then yeah, we do have some more stuff up here, but we'll worry about that. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, get it up. So yeah, weekly's right there. Nothing else really. Just the gap up. Daily. Kind of made some equal highs soup liquidity. Now we made more relative equal highs here. I think I need to start labeling the time frames. Daily, alright, daily. There was a fair value gap there. Just gonna note this big wick. Yeah, I think this might be interesting there. Yeah, we're on the daily. Anything. Yeah, this is a really big soup area down here still. I might get this a bit thicker there though. Cool. Yeah, big liquidity level there still. Alright, and then we've already souped that out, so that's gone, but now we know this doesn't exist. This was already traded to there. There was a flow long there. Now we've got relative equal lows here. Big soup of all of that. We got those gaps already. There is a 4 hour here and a gap. Just make sure that those are there in case there's something at the open today that shows. It's supposed to be yellow. Oops. All right. Yeah, there you go. There's all the levels there. Cool. Dang, that's crazy. Just blows my mind. Wow, that changes so many things. Wow, so silver is also completely different. That's crazy. All right, let me do some notes. Oops. All right. So now that we know, we're coming off of. Oh man, I feel like I need to investigate this high now. Oh yeah, so there was SMT here. It was the Russell triggering everything. So yeah, Russell's been giving the short, um, and I'm sure there was a little bit of. Yep, there was very clear SMT here with ES and Nasdaq both heading higher. Dude, I wonder, man. So yeah, very clear SMT. We came here, made the low. Makes sense that we bounced, but now we're down below these lows here at the open. That's about to happen. So let me. What? Dude, they're disc. Well, let me look at the Discord. See if I can still log in. Hmm. Well, that's just gonna be not a good idea. So, just turns out I can't log in. All right. Anyways, let's get a little bit cleaned up. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it looks like we're gonna open up below these lows. I really want to see if we get an SMT here. That would be pretty much what we would need to see to get long. I'd be looking for a long. Otherwise, short, unless, yeah. Once we make SMT, then we have a possible long. And it should be probably a conservative. If it's going to be a high time frame, I'd look for just 50%. But yeah, these are all the levels. Russell, same thing here. So I'd want to see. We already made SMT at this low. So I'd actually want to see if Russell actually opens up and holds this. That would be just a super easy long right on this relative equal low. Let me zoom in. Well, first of all, there's just a wick there. Whoa. We kind of already came down to 50% on the daily. But on the 4 hour we didn't. So maybe there's something inside of this. We already tagged that order block. So we're probably going to be going to the maximum order block. So that would be interesting if we came down into this order block. Oops, whatever. Oh man, let's just zoom in. So yeah, I kind of want to see if we can get into there with the S&T, but the problem is I did not see that. There are some relative equal lows here. Not the cleanest, but man, sometimes trading just sucks. But yeah, I mean, if there's S&T there, I'd definitely expect like a decent bounce. Did you take a picture of this? So yeah, I think a long there, and then a what the heck? Oh, it's weird. Phone's been. And then yes, I mean very similar situation on Nasdaq and ES. I would expect Nasdaq came higher here for SMT, so I'd want to see ES deliver lower and long Nasdaq if there's SMT with ES. So hopefully there's something. Can I have? I probably can't have two. Can I have two? Huh, maybe I can. Two of these open. So yeah, I'm looking long Russell, maybe long Nasdaq. right at the open. Whoa, that is so different. What the heck? Well, we'll just use the prices from TradingView to place my stop. It's gonna be kind of tricky though. But yeah. NASDAQ, I might have missed something here. Oh, we're down there. Oh, there is nothing there. Weird. Oh, there's a new week opening gap. Okay. So yeah, there is something there. So yeah, we may come down to this new week opening gap. That's basically a fair value gobble set up too. So yeah. Alright, that's kind of the plan though. Gonna shut this down now. Besides gold and silver, dollar's just moving lower. Gold and silver, there may be some nice setups here, nice big soup. Maybe we're gonna get a big short on silver. But there is looking like some sort of long maybe setting up too. But we'll see. Alright, that's it.